Not too long ago, Apple stood on stage and declared the dawn of a new era: spatial computing. It was hyped as their next iPhone moment, a real game changer. But, well, fast forward less than 3 years, and the Vision Pro has become one of the most spectacular failures in the company's history. This wasn't just a flop, it was a $3.5 billion bet that went completely bust. So, what on earth happened? I mean, just look at this number. The data is absolutely brutal. From its launch in 2024 to the last quarter of 2025, sales of the Vision Pro just collapsed by a staggering 88%. This wasn't a slowdown, it was a complete nosedive, a free fall that no one saw coming, not even the biggest skeptics. Which brings us to the big question, right? How did Apple, the company that masters product launches, the company that gave us the iPod, the iPhone, the Apple Watch, get this so catastrophically wrong? Well, let's start the forensic teardown and find out. When you really dig into it, the diagnosis is surprisingly clear. The problem wasn't that the technology was weak. In fact, the tech was amazing. The failure came down to three fundamental, absolutely fatal flaws that were baked into this product from day one. Okay, first up, and this is a big one, the price. Look, we all know Apple loves its premium strategy, right? But with the Vision Pro, they didn't just push the envelope, they launched it into a whole other dimension, crossing a critical line from premium into just prohibitive. Let's really put this price into perspective. At nearly $3,500, the Vision Pro wasn't just a bit more expensive than its main competitor, the Meta Quest 3, it was 10 times more expensive. 10. It cost way more than a high-end MacBook Pro. You could buy 3 new iPhones for that price. For most people, the value just wasn't there. So if you could somehow get past that insane price tag, you immediately ran headfirst into a literal physical barrier. You can pack the most incredible technology in the world into a device, but if people can't physically stand to wear it, it's basically a very expensive paperweight. And for a lot of people, the Vision Pro was just unbearable. It weighed in at 650 grams. That's about 1.4 pounds. Now, to give you some context, the Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses, which are having a moment, are just 50 grams. That makes the Vision Pro 13 times heavier. And the real killer wasn't just the weight, but the fact that all of it was concentrated right on the front of your face. And you don't have to take my word for it. This quote from a Reddit user who returned the device says it all. The human cost of that weight was real. People were reporting serious neck pain, severe headaches, eye strain. The return rate in the first 2 weeks was through the roof, simply because no matter how cool the tech was, the thing was physically painful to use for more than half an hour. Now this final flaw, this one is genuinely weird. For a product that Apple called the future of computing, it launched into a total ghost town. The software ecosystem was dead on arrival, and the strangest part of all, it felt like even Apple didn't really believe in it. I mean, think about this for a second. Apple, the company that built the single richest app store on the planet, didn't even bother to create native Vision Pro versions for its own essential everyday apps. No calendar, no maps. If Apple itself wasn't willing to invest in its own platform, why on earth would any other developer? It was this classic chicken and egg problem that Apple, bizarrely, created for itself. So, the failure of the Vision Pro wasn't just about one product tanking. No, its collapse sent massive shockwaves across the entire tech industry. It was basically the final nail in the coffin for a multi-billion-dollar dream. This table really tells the whole story. It's night and day. While the Vision Pro was struggling to sell just 45,000 units, Meta's Ray-Ban glasses sold 7 million. One was super expensive, heavy, and tried to immerse you. The other was affordable, lightweight, and tried to assist you. The market didn't just pick a winner here. It completely rejected an entire philosophy of computing. And that rejected philosophy was the metaverse's dream. This was the big, futuristic idea that both Meta and Apple poured billions and billions of dollars into, this core belief that our future would be spent inside these immersive virtual worlds. But, the dream crashed and burned for some pretty basic reasons. The headsets were just too bulky and uncomfortable. There was no killer app, no single reason that made you say, I have to have this. And let's be honest, wearing a giant computer on your face in public just never caught on socially. The tech just wasn't ready. As this analyst from Gartner really nailed, the idea itself might not have been terrible, but it was way, way ahead of its time. The technology wasn't there, the market wasn't there, and the Vision Pro's failure was really the final confirmation that this era was over. So out of the ashes of that metaverse dream, a completely new vision for the future has started to take shape. The entire industry, and yes, that now includes Apple, is making a huge pivot away from immersion and towards this new idea called ambient AI. So what's the difference really? Well, immersive computing tries to isolate you in a virtual world. Ambient AI, on the other hand, is all about assisting you in the real world. One is bulky and expensive, the other is lightweight and accessible. It's the core difference between the Vision Pro and the Meta Ray-Ban. It's about enhancing the reality you're already in, not replacing it. And Apple, in what is a pretty stunning admission of defeat, has slammed on the brakes and made a hard pivot. They've reportedly halted all Vision Pro development and are redirecting all of those resources to building their own lightweight AI glasses, aiming for a 2027 release. It seems they learned a very, very expensive lesson from watching Meta. So, after all of this, what's the big takeaway? The Vision Pro's failure isn't just a footnote, it's one of the most expensive lessons in modern tech history, and it leaves us with some incredibly clear insights. After this whole teardown, it really boils down to 5 huge lessons. 1. How a device looks and feels matters more than the raw tech inside. 2. Your price has to actually match the value you're providing. 3. If something isn't comfortable to use, no amount of cool features will save it. 4. Timing is absolutely everything. And finally, the most humbling lesson of all. Even Apple, the most successful company in the world, can get it wrong. Big time. So, okay, the metaverse dream is over, but a brand new battle is just getting started. The battle for the future of ambient AI. Apple is basically starting from scratch, trying to beat Meta at its own game. And the question that leaves us with is, after learning its $3.5 billion lesson, can Apple get it right this time around? Or has Meta already run away with the future?